Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Draw 2. My name's Ramny, and this is the first episode of this format of tutorial drawing. Today we are going to be drawing BB-8 from Star Wars The Force Awakens. As usual, I have my usual drawing tools. I've got a pencil and eraser. I've got my white paper right here, and I've got my black pens so that I can ink afterwards. If you guys have all of that, let's get started. With BB-8, it's relatively easy to draw. You can have your paper in landscape or portrait. It doesn't really matter. And the first thing, obviously, is we're going to draw his body, which is a big circle in the lower part of your paper. So let's start doing that. And if you have a hard time figuring out how to do a circle, you can always find something that's an appropriate size, like a Scotch tape roll or a little mug, or a plate or anything like that. If you got something that you can trace, you can do that as well. So try your best to do a perfect circle. It takes quite a bit of practice to actually do a perfect circle, so I want you guys to try doing that. Once you figure it out, everything becomes easier, because drawing is basically just figuring out the different shapes that objects are made of. So that's what drawing is. So BB-8 is one big fat circle like this. I'm going to find a spot over here, and I'm going to do a slight curve, and I'm going to go down to this side right here. So it's a diagonal curved line. It kind of acts as a middle line. And I'm going to draw another line over here. It sort of intersects this way. Actually, I'm going to have it higher up. And I'm going to draw a line this way. So with these two lines, you can sort of see that it gives the illusion of 3D-ness, roundedness, and that's sort of what you want to try to do. But before we continue, we're going to be breaking this down into smaller circles, or we're going to have another smaller circle in here. So starting from the center, I want you to find a spot about this far up this way, and then we're going to find similar distance this way, and then same thing this way and this way. Excuse me. And now I want you to connect these four lines so that it is another circle, a circle within this circle. As you guys notice, I'm doing things lightly, and then when I finally get the right shape, that's when I sort of draw it in a little more dark. All right, I've got this. I'm going to erase the inside a little bit, not too much. I just want to erase it so that I want to erase it, but I still want to faintly see it, so I'm not erasing it too much. Okay, so there's that side. I want to do the same thing here. From here, I'm actually going to draw a curve that goes down to about here. And I want to do the same thing on this side, from here to about here. Actually, right there is good. So it doesn't curve as much. This is more like a straightish line. Now, I've got those shapes. I'm going to draw a shape here at the top, just a straight line like this. And then I want to do the same thing at the bottom, from here. Actually, let's start right here, and we're going to find our way. So it curves this way, and then over here kind of goes this way. So we've got circles surrounding this circle right here. And that's what BB-8 is, pretty much a series of little circles. Now let's start drawing in the details inside this circle in the middle. And I'm going to find another circle over here. Now the thing with BB-8 is he looks easy to draw, but if you're not very good at drawing circles, it actually can get pretty difficult. All right, so I've got a circle within that circle, and then on the diagonal, so I've got my cross right here. I'm going to draw some rectangles on the diagonal part of that cross. So here's that cross. I'm going to faintly draw it so you can see it. These little triangles that they make, I want to draw a rectangle at the base of those triangles. So there you go. Now over here, I'm going to draw a curved line that follows this circle inside, and then I'm going to now follow the shape of the rectangle like that. And then now what I want to do is I want to draw another circle in here. Okay, so same distance from those triangles, or rectangles, sorry. So find those spots, and what you want to do is you want to faintly draw a circle around them. connecting them, I mean. Okay, and over here I want to end it right there. All right, now from here, kind of the center, I want to draw a line going up to the center, moving slightly this way, and then I want to bring it up like this. Okay, over here, little rectangle. Over here, a little curve like this. And another rectangle right here. More like a, excuse me, a curve like that. Okay, now I want to go over here, find the corner, and I'm going to extend from that corner. I'm going to extend it towards this line right here. So I've got that line, and then equal sign right here. Now over here, I draw a line beside those rectangles, and then I follow the curve, the inside curve right here, and then I follow this inside curve right here. Okay, within that, I draw a rectangle to the center, and then I draw two squares, one right there and one at the corner. There you go. Now I'm going to draw a circle within these 4 rectangles that we did. Now find a spot down here, draw a line going down, and draw 3 long rectangles right there. And then I find a spot right about here, draw a line, and find another spot right there and right here, divide it about 1/3 of the way up, so 1/3 of the way. And I'm going to, from here, I'm going to connect that line towards this line right there. Now lastly, over here now, find this mark, make a little line, and then on this side about here, make a little line like that. Now connect those two, like so. And I think that's as detailed as we want it. Let's draw this line, skip the rest. I think that's how much detail I'm going to put into this BB-8. I'm going to find 2 lines right here, kind of like in the center, and then I'm going to round the corners. I'm going to make this rectangular shape right there. Awesome. So let's move on. I'm going to darken these lines right here. And let's start with this shape right here. There are rivet marks. So it's a circle and a circle inside. One there, one here, and over here becomes, because it's sort of on this side, it's not quite a circle, becomes more of an oval shape. There you go. Now over here, I want to create a line going across like that. Okay. Now I'm going to find this curve right here, and then 1/3 of the way, another curve like that. And we'll do the same thing right here. It's that same rectangle as this, except you can kind of see that it's misshapen a bit because it's on the curve. And same thing over here. Line this way, short little line, and then line going up like this. Okay, now I'm going to find a line inside, here to here, bring it in like this, and then from here, I just bring it out like that and out this way. And there you go, I'll leave it like that. But yeah, let's draw those circles right here. Now let's go down here, find this line. Now over here, I'm actually going to draw a line like this, and I'm going to extend it so that it goes out. And then find a spot right here, draw another line going out, and then I'm going to round off the corners, and then draw this line right there. So this and this are the same thing. They're like little panels on BB-8. Over here we got some long rectangles right there. And now 1/3 of the way down, going all the way here, let me draw this line. Okay, over here I'm going to find the line. I'm going to draw my rectangle on the line. So it's different than these ones because these ones we drew on the diagonal. Circle right here, sort of goes that way. And this one you won't be able to see, so I'll just leave it like that. Now over here I'm going to draw a circle again. And then from that circle I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. And these act as, well, they're just marks. And then right here I'm going to draw a little panel. I'm going to draw one line right here, another line over here. I'm going to connect these endpoints to each other like that. And that's it. Let's draw the rivets on this side now. Circle with a circle inside. And this one's flatter. There you go. Let's do this one quickly. Just a line like that. And you know what that should do with that side? Excuse me. Rivets over here. And this one's not quite a circle. Over here I'm going to draw a panel. And lastly, rivet right here. Another one over here. And well, that's the gist of BB-8's body. Now let's draw his head. Excuse me. I'm not feeling, well, my voice isn't doing too well, to be honest with you guys. All right, so let's find a spot. We're going to draw a curved line, sort of going across the top like this. Okay. I'm going to erase it. I'm going to erase that top, just so we can get a good idea of the curve that we want for BB-8's head. And so the curve goes like that, but what I actually want to do is I want to draw another line going across like this. Okay. Okay, so where the body meets this line, I'm going to find a spot right there, and same thing over here. And what I want to do is I want to create a diagonal like that, and the same thing over here. I'm going to create this little diagonal like this. So this part that we just did actually acts as the bottom of BB-8's head. There you go. Now we can draw a little bowl shape from there. We're going to start off by drawing some straight lines going up. Now the trick is to make sure that you're drawing an appropriate size for BB-8's head. You don't want to draw it too small. You don't want to draw it too big either. So this is about a good size, and I'm going to bring it up to about this high up. So now we're going to do a half circle from here, half circle up, and then half circle down. After this tutorial, you guys should have a good idea on, or have a good practice on freehand circle drawing, because that's what we're doing right now. And please go ahead and pause if you feel like I'm going too fast. I'm sort of used to drawing circles freehand by now, but if you need a little bit of help, make sure that you pause the video at any time. All right, let's go over here. I'm going to draw another line going across, following this bottom curve. I'm going to draw it twice. There you go. Above that, over here, I'm going to fix that up a little bit. Above that, I'm going to create a rectangle over here. And then a couple more tall rectangles, 2 of them actually, right there. And then a little one right here, a little square. I'm going to go over here. You want these to be about the same height. And same thing over here, you want them to be about the same height. So, you know what, to make it easier for me, I'm going to draw a little faint line going across. That'll act as my guideline. Now, I'm going to create a line right there, and then 2 lines. That's a rectangle, and another one right here, and a long one, like that. And this one has 2 blue rectangles inside of it. And then here's another one right here. And actually with this one, the side of this, I want it to go up, curve. I'm going to leave this curve like this for a little bit, because what that curve does, let me try that again. There you go. what that curve does is it creates this space right here, and this is going to be the camera that BB-8 uses as his eyes. So I draw a circle within that curve. And I'll draw another circle inside that circle. And within that, I'm going to draw a little oval right there and a circle right here. And these are just the reflections of light, or it could be the light that's inside, like a little LED light that's inside that camera eye that he has. Okay, so there's the camera eye. With this one, I'm going to extend it going this way. And you see the side right here, I'm going to bring that up. And then now I'm going to curve it like this. And this will act as his second camera. So I'm going to draw a circle first, and then I'm going to draw a circle within that circle. That is his second eye / camera. Okay, now from here I'm going to draw a curve like this, going all the way down. And I bring the line down. And lastly, another circle within a circle right there. Okay, over here I'm going to draw a little rectangle, a little side panel right there. And then here at the top, let's draw his crown. Goes across like this. I'm going to draw it twice. And then first I'm going to draw a straight line over here, and as you move to the sides, it gets flatter and flatter. There you go. Right here, he's got a little rectangle right there. Same thing on the side. And we're almost done. Let's shade this in. We're almost done. We're going to draw 2 lines right here, one here and one here. This one is a short little antenna, goes about that high. And this one is a bigger antenna. First I'm going to draw a little base like this. I'm going to shade that in actually. A thin antenna going up. It's much taller than the first one. And then it gets wider at the top like this. And let's see if there's anything else. I think that's it, you guys. We're going to leave it at that anyway. That is how you draw BB-8 from Star Wars The Force Awakens. Hope you guys enjoyed my first episode of this type of tutorial video. And that's all the time that we have. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope your drawings turned out great. And if they did, I would love to see them. So please go ahead to the Google Plus community and post your artwork there for everybody to see. If you are curious about the equipment that I use to do my tutorials or to make my videos, I have links to those in the description below. And if you guys want to purchase some merchandise, I also have links to those in the description. Remember that clicking on those links helps to ensure that content creators like myself are supported so that we can continue making good stuff for you guys free of charge. If this is your first time here, I would love to have you subscribe. Here in this channel, I show you how to draw your favorite characters in easy to follow, simple step-by-step instructions. So if you like what you see, please come on over and hit that subscribe button just below this video. And of course, if you guys did enjoy this tutorial, it would help me a great deal if you guys like this video, commented below, or shared this video with your friends in social media. And speaking of social media, don't forget you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and on my website, drawit2.com, where you can download a whole bunch of coloring pages of my tutorials here on YouTube. Again, you guys, all of the links to those are in the description below. Finally, thank you once again, and as always, stay tuned for more so you can learn to draw too. I'll see you guys in my next tutorial.